Do you feel like there's some room for improvement when it comes to implementation in your business? Are you getting the things done that you want to get done? Hey, this is Michelle Sissom. I want to welcome you to Entrepreneurs Take Action. And today I want to teach you how I became a master implementer. It's one of the things that we do extremely well at Decisive Minds. We get a lot of things done. And yes, I say we because I have a team, but I'll tell you, even back in the days when it was just me and then me and one VA, we got a lot done because I know what it takes to implement. And so when I stopped and looked at, what those things are that I do to implement something, I realized that there were 5 steps. So I wrote them down because I want to give you the 5 steps. The first thing is to set a hard deadline. How many times do you, let's say, for example, say that you're going to teach a webinar, to maybe a marketing webinar or a teleseminar, or you're going to do a one day, or you're going to launch a new program or a new product or whatever that looks like in your business, and it keeps getting pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. The problem is that you're not setting a hard deadline. So how do you make a deadline hard? Because a lot of times you probably make a deadline and then you change it. What I do is I go out and tell people. So the moment I make a decision, if I'm going to do a webinar, or I'm going to be speaking somewhere, or I'm going to do a 1 day or a 3 day, whatever that is, I'll go out to social media and tell people, hey, this is what I'm going to do on this day. Let you know more about it later. For me, that's commitment. When I say to the world that I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to do it at that point. So I want you to set a hard deadline, whatever that looks like for you. Go tell whoever it is that you can't disappoint, right? So number 1, set the hard deadline. Number 2, I want you to break the task into smaller steps. So a lot of times, let's say, we'll stick with our webinar example, you decide that you're going to do that webinar, you set the date, and then all of a sudden the overwhelm hits you. How many times does the overwhelm hit in a project? Because there's just so much to do. Well, make it easy. Make that list. Break things down into steps. What do you need to do first? You got to get the opt-in page up. What do you need to get the opt-in page? You have to have your autoresponder ready, and you got to write a little bit of content, and you've got to have a website. So just make those tasks, set those tasks, and start to check them off. Focus on the small step, the small task, and one at a time you'll get them done, and you'll move towards getting your massive implementation. Number 3 is to set milestones. So, as entrepreneurs, we have long lists of those tasks. But what if you set some of those milestones that said, you know what, by Thursday, I'm going to have this accomplished. By the following Friday, this is going to be accomplished. When I set milestones for myself and my business, for my clients in their businesses, and then we go back and look at, oh, do you realize how much you got done by that milestone? Do you realize how much you got done at this place? So set those milestones along the way so that you can have a little celebration that you've accomplished certain things. It will make you feel better too. Number 4 is delegate. Don't try to do it all yourself. You can't, okay? So what do you need to do? What are those pieces that you need? Do you know nothing about websites and you need an opt-in page? Who can you go get to do your opt-in page? There are opt-in pages for all price points out there. You can find someone to help you. Number 5, track your progress. So remember I said break those things down into small steps. I want you to set the milestones, but guess what? When we don't look at how much we've accomplished along the way, we feel like there's still so much to do. We're so overwhelmed. I cannot tell you how many times my clients show up on a coaching call and they're like, oh, I don't feel like I got anything done. By the time we're done listing everything they did accomplish, yes, are there still things for them to do? Absolutely. But they need to look at and track the progress as they go. When you're doing those 5 things, when you are setting hard deadlines, breaking it into smaller steps, setting the milestones, delegating, and tracking your progress, your implementation will go through the roof, right? I'm telling you. And then when you start to become a great implementer, you can't wait to implement. You're always implementing. We're always doing something in Decisive Minds, and I love it. All right? Okay, so go get something done. This is Michelle Sissom saying, be decisive. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.